what's up community? It's KJ here from KnappyHair.com and you are watching The Breakdown. In this video, I'm gonna show you a U-part wig. I have a not so nappy, which is loose natural coarse, and I have a kinky coarse U-part wig. The not so nappy has a smaller U shape and the kinky coarse has a larger U shape. And they both have less density. One is 130% density and the other is 100% density. I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of both. Now let's get started. All right, community, so I have both U-part wigs side by side. This U-part wig is a kinky coarse hair type, and this is a not so nappy, which is a loose natural coarse. Inside the cap, you will see that there is clips around the U shape. There are clips on your side coverage, and in the back is a comb, and it also has an adjustable drawstring. So you can use this to pull the cap tighter or looser. When I wear my U-part wigs, I normally, this is just a little KJ tip, I normally crisscross my drawstring to make my cap tighter. But you work it for you and how it fits to your head shape. And I'll talk about sizing, properly sizing for a U-part wig in another video. So I mentioned there are two different U shapes. This U shape is larger. Now, it is enclosed with lace right now, but for you to wear this, you cut the lace off. When you cut the lace off, the U shape becomes a little bit wider, okay? You can use it to create many different parts, side part, middle part, etc. So ignore the lace right now. The lace is just showing you how small the U can go, but it can actually go wider once the lace is cut off. Now, the purpose of the two different U shapes allows you to leave more hair out or less hair out. Now, just looking at these U-part wigs, you can clearly see that there is two different hair types. The U-part wig on the left is kinky coarse. This U-part also has been treated for color. This color on this U-part wig is jet black. This is the natural color, meaning it has not been color treated. The shade of brown that you are seeing on this U-part wig is the shade of hair that was used to collect this U-part wig. Okay, but back to hair types, you can see that kinky coarse is much tighter than not so nappy. And again, not so nappy is loose natural coarse. So it's looser than kinky coarse, okay? If you purchase your texture match kit as your introduction into the community, then you already know the difference between not so nappy and kinky coarse. In this breakdown video, I have a bonus for you. I am going to style this not so nappy U-part wig, and you will see how it is easier to style this U-part wig because the texture is looser. Doesn't mean that kinky coarse cannot be styled with heat, and it doesn't mean that kinky coarse cannot get really straight, because it can. But due to the tightness of this hair type, it just takes a little bit more work, just like it does with your natural hair. So I want to talk about density really quick. This kinky coarse U-part wig is a 12-14 inch that was cut into the shape of a bob. So it's really probably just a 12 inch. So it's going for the lob, the long bob effect. Because this wig is so short, for it to have a level of fullness, it requires less hair. And this is why this particular U-part wig is only 100% density. If you've already purchased one of the U-part wigs on KnappyHair.com, the stock standard density was 150% density. That is going to change. But again, this U-part wig, because it is much shorter and because it's cut in this style, it doesn't require 150% density. That would look too full for this look. Now, let's talk about this not so nappy, loose natural coarse U-part wig. So this U-part wig is 130% density. And for those of you in the community, you know that I try out all of the products before I place them on KnappyHair.com. And as I was wearing my U-part, I noticed the hair looked so much better with less density. So this 130% volume appears much more natural, even when you are heat styling your hair. When you're straightening it, flat ironing it, and adding curls, the 130% is much more natural. Now, I'm gonna show you how I style this U-part wig. All right, community, so in this video, I have a bonus for you. I am going to show you how you can style not so nappy. And the product I'm using is a U-part wig. But one thing that you should think about when you're determining which type do you want is which is gonna blend in with your hair with the least amount of heat. One styling tip that I highly recommend, especially when you're using a looser hair type like not so nappy, is to not flat iron the hair prior to curling it. Because the texture is already loose, the curling iron will really get this hair straight and it will leave it with a lot of body. Because this U-part wig is in the hair type not so nappy, it doesn't require a lot of heat to get straight. So keep that in mind. If you want it bone straight, use a higher heat setting. If you don't, if you want to leave some texture in it, then you can lower the heat setting. So when I created this curl, I had it on the highest heat setting. I had it at 450, and I think I'm gonna lower it down to 400 and continue to curl the wig. The key to getting your hair straight is to curl in small sections. That goes for curling, flat ironing, shampooing. The smaller the section, the better. All right, community, in this video, I showed you two things, the two U-part wigs and two different hair types. I showed you how not so nappy looks, how it can be styled, and not so nappy is just loose natural coarse. I also showed you Kinky Coarse, which is my personal favorite because Kinky Coarse requires the least amount of heat for my hair because it's a tighter texture. So hopefully with this video, this has shown you what you need to do with your hair. With a U-part wig, your hair is required out. So you can determine if you want more hair out, as you see with this U-part wig, or less hair out, as you see with this U-part wig. So you can see the difference between Kinky Coarse and Not So Nappy. When you purchase your texture match kit, you will have the clip-in samples to determine which is going to work best for your hair. And we'll talk about that more in another video.